From Oak Ridge, Tennessee, your source for the Department of Energy's environmental cleanup news. Energycast starts now.
Hi everyone, I'm Summer Dash. Welcome to your November episode of Energycast. We are back home from Washington, D.C. after an informative few days at the National Cleanup Workshop. It was awesome. Let's go ahead and get started with some Energy Bites. A major project update at Y12. We're getting an inside look at the future of the Lithium Processing Facility. A recent groundbreaking kicks off the site preparation for construction. Our reporter is on the ground at the site to find out what happens next. This Thanksgiving, employees at the Federal Building in Oak Ridge are grateful we didn't chase them down with a camera. You know, last year we did. We thought it was fun. All in the name of holiday spirit, of course. We've got poll results to share with you, though. Some of these, I'll warn you, they're hot takes. Find out what our coworkers say about the best pie flavor, turkey side dish, and which one they could live without.
We just say thank you, thank you, thank you, because any food that is given to us, we give every single thing to the families that are in need.
Almost 1,500 meals. That's how many the Fed's Feed Families program is providing in East Tennessee. Employees and contractors donated canned goods to Second Harvest Food Bank. We headed out to find out exactly what that means for families in need. Robots at Oak Ridge National Lab. Pieces from other labs all across the country are starting to arrive, and staff members are working to put them all together. It is a national team effort that will aid EM cleanup projects. The robots will work in this 1960s era building. Here are some photos of the setup happening right now. They'll be tested and teams will have a chance to get comfortable using them. This robotic arm has what its creators call the digital twin. That's the human counterpart controlling its movements. The gloves are touch sensitive, meaning the user can actually feel what the robot does. They go where we can't. They'll be another safety tool to handle radioactive material while keeping our teams safe. We're told cold testing should start any day now. Of course, we'll keep you posted on their progress. A major milestone for the Lithium Processing Facility to report to you now. Leaders officially broke ground at that site. Now, this was a top priority project. Cleanup had removed old, crumbling infrastructure and opened up space to construct the LPF. Now, you might recall, after years of hard work, the 18-acre area at Y12 was opened up and ready for reuse. EM took ownership of the area to demolish the final two buildings in the biology complex in 2020. Those buildings dated back to the 1940s. Crews finished taking down the massive buildings the following year, and they were busy removing the old foundations last year. Now, that work was completed, and the land is back in the hands of Y12. I'm going to go ahead and hand things over now to Gene Patterson, who works in communications over at Y12. He's going to explain what happens next.
The NNSA and CNS hosted a groundbreaking ceremony for the Lithium Processing Facility at Y12 in mid-October. The event marked the beginning of site preparation in advance of construction for the project. The new 245,000 square foot LPF will feature updated technology, increased processing capacity, and make the work environment safer for employees. Y12 is a supplier of lithium materials to support U.S. defense missions as the NNSA's Lithium Center of Excellence. Construction of LPF is forecast to begin in mid-2025, with completion projected in the early 2030s. It's another example of how Y12 is transforming for the future.
Construction on LPF is expected to start in mid-2025. Completion is projected for the early 2030s. EM is currently preparing several other facilities for demolition at Y12. Those projects, like this one, will help modernize the site and open land Y12 can use to support national security missions. You think your basement might be in bad shape? Oh, think again. Crews at Y12 are wrapping up an effort that's pumping 1.5 million gallons of water from the basement of Beta 1 being prepped for demolition. The structure dates back to the Manhattan Project when it supported uranium enrichment operations. Now, it's one of the next up for teardown at the site. Groundwater had filled the basement when sump pumps failed in previous years. Deactivation is continuing in the upper floors, and workers will start addressing the basement areas when they're pumped dry. We will, of course, have some more updates for you as crews move forward on this project. And employees are preparing a third reactor facility for demolition at Oak Ridge National Laboratory. This comes fresh on the heels of the teardown of the bulk shielding reactor and low-intensity reactor over the past year. These projects are transforming the central campus area. And one of the biggest demolitions planned at ORNL is the Oak Ridge Research Reactor. That facility was shut down back in 1987. Workers are busy getting it cleared out and ready for takedown. Part of that clean out involves removing the actual reactor. You heard that correctly. We've got some really incredible images showing where employees cut off the top of the reactor to ship it for disposal. UCOR expects to take out the second portion of that reactor in January. These are crucial steps that make it possible to deactivate the rest of the building. We'll keep you updated on their progress. Oak Ridge brought home 2 sustainability awards from the U.S. Department of Energy last month. The agency holds an annual ceremony recognizing top efforts from all across the country. Oak Ridge received 1 award for designs that are diverting water away from waste areas at its on-site disposal facility. In 2022, they sent 22 million gallons of clean water back into the local ecosystem. UCOR Chief Program and Sustainability Officer Ashley Saunders spoke with us about Oak Ridge's other award that's leading to new jobs for people in the area.
The next award that we received was to recognize our partnership with the Scarborough community, a community here in Oak Ridge that has historically been marginalized. We went into the community to meet with community members and leaders to talk about workforce opportunities with UCOR and through the cleanup program. And as a result of that workshop, we were able to host an apprenticeship readiness program specifically for members of the Scarborough community to join the workforce and begin their career in the cleanup mission.
We've got some new numbers for you coming to us from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. The federal agency provides key figures to Congress each year that measure progress underway at cleanup sites nationwide. Now that data shows Oak Ridge is a leader nationally. That pace is thanks to a unique regulatory partnership with EM and its contractors, the EPA, and the state of Tennessee. Over the last 3 years, Oak Ridge was responsible for starting and completing the most cleanup projects of any DOE site. OREM and its contractor UCOR account for 61% of DOE's completed cleanup tasks nationally. They also account for 80% of the new ones. Now, during that span, projects in Oak Ridge removed 32,000 truckloads of impacted soils, 2,700 trucks of debris, and treated 941,000 gallons of wastewater. The numbers for 2023 are looking really strong too. We'll go ahead and share those with you in our January episode. You know, it's our goal to make sure that you have information about the projects happening right in your backyard. As work continues on the Oak Ridge Reservation, we're committed to keeping you updated. One of the ways we do that is by holding public information sessions. And we just finished up a productive conversation with our community. Take a look.
We just overall want the community to feel like they're safe, they're well informed, and that they can have like a one-on-one interaction with the people that work at our companies.
The 2-hour event held at the Scarborough Community Center featured large poster boards showing graphics and photos. Leaders from DOE and contractor UCOR were all on hand to share information about the missions and ongoing projects. Much of the information focused on soil cleanup and groundwater remediation at the East Tennessee Technology Park, demolition progress at Oak Ridge National Laboratory, and deactivation and infrastructure projects at the Y-12 National Security Complex. You can also keep an eye out for public info sessions in the calendar section on our website. Head on over to energy.gov/OREM.
The duties of
the position of city manager.
the position of city manager.
You're officially official.
Thank you.
Welcome to town. The new Oak Ridge City Manager has officially begun his work here. Randy Heeman took over the position on November 1st. And we were there as he was sworn in just a few weeks later. Heeman comes to us from Mooresville, North Carolina, where he had been serving as town manager. He's spent more than 3 decades working for various cities and holding multiple leadership positions. Much of his work has focused on downtown development. Former Oak Ridge City Manager retired after more than a decade in the position earlier this year. Heeman is under a 3-year contract with the city. Well, there's a new alert system in Oak Ridge. You can go ahead and sign up for it right now. It's called Everbridge. Police and fire officials will send out alerts in the case of emergency. Businesses can sign up for this as well. It's a system replacing the Code Red and Nixle programs. So if you're getting alerts from one or both of those, do be sure to switch over to Everbridge. You can do that by heading over to oakridgetn.gov/notifications. We've also got that link for you here now on your screen. Just go ahead and aim your phone camera at that little box and go ahead and follow the link.
We are so committed to continuing to bring opportunities not only to the industry as a whole, but to this region.
As we near the end of 2023, we are checking in with a local leader who has her finger on the pulse of our industry. Elizabeth Harm's job is to bring businesses and organizations in the energy, technology, and environmental fields together. We're going to find out some of the big takeaways from this year.
We've been so grateful to DOE.
Feds Feed Families. Our annual food drive is complete and the final numbers are in. We're heading over to Second Harvest Food Bank to find out how the canned goods our team collected are making an impact. Plus, how does the need look ahead of the holidays? Are the 5 big stories happening across the complex right now. We are bringing you major EM news from coast to coast. In Utah, crews achieved an EM 2023 priority by moving 1 million tons of uranium mill tailings away from the Colorado River this year. So far, they've moved 14 million tons since the project began in 2009. They are quickly approaching the ultimate goal of 16 million tons. Crews in New Mexico also accomplished an EM 2023 priority. Workers at the Waste Isolation Pilot Plant finished digging a new air intake shaft that triples airflow and allows multiple underground operations to occur all at the same time. Completing the project required workers to dig a 26-foot diameter shaft more than 2,200 feet deep. At the Portsmouth site, EM and the Ohio Department of Health recently collaborated to test a drone equipped with radiation detectors. There's potential to use this approach to detect chemicals if a release ever were to happen. Crews in Idaho have made significant progress decommissioning the prototype reactor plant used for the first nuclear-powered submarine. They've already sent 250 tons of metal from the project for recycling. Demolition is scheduled to be complete in 2025. Back in Ohio, the Portsmouth site hosted EM's 12th annual Science Alliance event. More than 1,200 students explored career opportunities, spoke to college representatives, and participated in hands-on science experiments. The gathering has grown into one of the largest science events in Southern Ohio. All right, we are checking in now with the Executive Director of the Energy, Technology, and Environmental Business Association, or ETEBA. That organization recently hosted an annual conference in downtown Knoxville that brings together people from the industry all right here in East Tennessee. So Elizabeth Harm joins us now. Thank you so much for taking the time. We really appreciate it. So how'd the conference go?
We could not be more excited about the way the conference went. We were so proud to have about 600 people who made their way to Knoxville to spend 3 days with us, learning all about upcoming opportunities, networking, and just celebrating the industry. It was a great conference this year, and we're really excited about the outcome.
That's great to hear. Now, this was the 24th anniversary for the BOTC, or Business Opportunities and Technical Conference. What do you think we should expect for the big 2-5?
So we're excited about planning an even bigger and better conference for next year, and that is where we will certainly be focusing. We also, as you know, host several regional events and have our Savannah River Forum and our New Mexico Forum. And we're very excited this year that we are also going to play an important role in the event in Hanford. So as ETEBA grows and our members request more and more of us, we are listening and we are responding with growth on our end.
And you're really one of the people who just really does have a finger on the pulse of the industry because of your work. So from your perspective, what are the needs of employers and employees moving forward?
A lot of our members have come to us and said, you know, the VOTC is great, Savannah River is great, New Mexico is great, but what about those other markets? We need someone doing the very thing you guys are doing in New Mexico and Savannah River in these additional markets. So our board will be identifying ways that we can support, to begin with, events that are already happening in those markets. We can go and be present. We can go and support and help grow those events. We can promote those events. You know, even conferences that are already happening, we are always happy to make sure our members know about them and encourage them to attend. That is how they find out about the latest information in the industry. That's how we find out about the latest information. So yeah, we're really excited about what the next year has to bring, and coming off such a successful conference makes us even more excited for 2024.
And for anybody who's watching who's unfamiliar, ETEBA is a national organization. It's headquartered right here. So Elizabeth, how does the ETEBA presence impact our local businesses?
So our roots are firmly planted right here in East Tennessee. And we are so committed to continuing to bring opportunities not only to the industry as a whole, but to this region. By us being headquartered here, you have the staff of ETEBA right here in your backyard. And we hope that the companies and organizations know that we are a resource that they should reach out to.
All right, Elizabeth, thank you so much. Appreciate it. ETEBA is a nonprofit that formed more than 30 years ago. It represents nearly 200 companies providing services to government and commercial clients all across the country. If you're interested in joining, or if you'd like some more information, go ahead and contact Elizabeth Harm by the email or number listed on your screen right now. You know, with the holidays coming up, you may be dreaming of the yummy food and feasts, but for some families, providing a big spread is really just impossible. Even everyday meals are a real struggle. Our team is playing a small part in making sure the community is fed. What goes into a recipe? From generation to generation, it's often handed down.
Well, it's been fabulous.
But these ingredients are handed out.
This is volunteer area where food drives come in.
150,000 meals needed per month.
That's crazy.
600 partners get them to hands in need.
It's really nice.
Second Harvest Food Bank of East Tennessee reaches 18 counties.
We had a lot of help from each of the divisions.
So it's not surprising employees in Oak Ridge collected all of this.
It's great just to show ORM how charitable we actually are here and how much we do care.
Almost 1,800 pounds of food from your pantry to this warehouse.
So this is our food for kids aisle, and this is the food that goes home with children on Friday afternoons.
But it wouldn't if not for the many programs like Feds Feed Families keeping these shelves full.
We've been so grateful to DOE.
Our team's recent contributions equal about 1,500 meals, but this place,
not many people understand we are a distribution center,
supplies 100 times that amount each month.
It's quick. Nothing stays here very long.
The food from us is likely making it onto this truck right about now.
We just say thank you, thank you, thank you, because any food that is given to us, we give every single thing to the families that are in need.
Every Wednesday, Pastor Bob Vanderslice and volunteers from the Lord's Child, a pantry in South Knoxville, stock up here.
We provide a full grocery cart full of food.
You, Second Harvest distributors, all equal parts in this recipe's final product.
And if you just came out and served that line, you would see how much they appreciate it.
In this case, the ingredients aren't just the food.
The senior pastor asked me one day, look, would you mind taking over the food pantry?
They're the people.
I said, I'll do it on one condition. And he said, what's that? I said, that you don't pay me, that you just let me do it. Because I want to do it for those who need.
These are the hands that serve.
That's what this all is.
More often than not, recipes have a story behind them. These meals have many. Since the Feds Feed Families program launched in 2009, the campaign has collected more than 99 million pounds of food. If you'd like to help Second Harvest's mission, remember, you can donate money, time, or food year-round. All right, what's your favorite side dish? How about best pie flavor? And if we're getting really controversial, which side dish can leave your Thanksgiving meal for good? We've got the results of a recent poll. We asked, you answered, find out which side stays, which one goes, all according to employees at the federal building.
They get an opportunity to see it, see some of them firsthand. We also have some real instruments, if you will, that they can look at and play with if they want to.
Our teams are constantly trying to teach the next generation, making them aware of the opportunities in the environmental cleanup industry. Roane State students got to learn from the best. We'll take a look at this mentoring opportunity ahead. We are spotlighting some great mentoring happening in Oak Ridge. Recruiting the next generation of workers is a top priority around here. Roane State students got to get hands-on experience and learn from the pros. DOE contractor UCOR hosted the group. Energycast's Dylan Sieber shows us what students took away from a day with UCOR.
So today we're hosting Roane State students from the local college here in Oak Ridge. They're in an environmental management program, and I think what they're coming here today for is they're part of their instrumentation class. So we've done this for the last 3 years, and we look forward to doing it every year. We get to host Roane State here. We get to show off some of our new training equipment and some of our new toys that we train with. They get an opportunity to see it, see some of them firsthand. We also have some real instruments, if you will, that they can look at and play with if they want to. But it's a really great opportunity for them to come in here and get to see what UCOR does and how we train our people. And it gives a little different comparison from a college type environment to a work type environment for the training.
So this is going to benefit us. I think learning more hands-on rather than in the classroom will allow us to learn better and kind of get more involved with the instruments itself.
Things I'm not so familiar with, more so the industrial side of it all, hygiene. That's really what I'm looking forward to doing. I think if you do anything and glean any knowledge from it, you're in good standing. Definitely excited to, make some connections, just see what's out there.
So it benefits UCOR. We've partnered with Roane State for a couple of things. We do this class with them every year, and then we also use Roane State for our HAZWOPER training, some of our HAZWOPER training through the PEAK grant. So they provided that for us for several years. And then we've also partnered with the Roane State guys to do the help them with their environmental management class. We use all the same equipment that we use at UCOR, but it's simulated. So in this room, we get the opportunity to interact with radiation, if you will, but it's simulated radiation, so there are no hazards associated with it. But the meters still react just like it would with real radiation, so they get to see it in real time, if you will, and know what it's supposed to look like when they're in the field and encounter radiation in the field.
Oak Ridge is known for its support and excellence in education at all levels. This fall, it brings home another honor from the U.S. Department of Education, or the other DOE, as we call it. Linden Elementary was one of just 6 schools in Tennessee to be named a National Blue Ribbon School for 2023. That distinction recognizes Linden for being among the state's highest performing schools as measured by state assessments and national tests. Congrats to the team at Linden Elementary. We are so thankful for all of the teachers and administrators all across the district who make Oak Ridge so great. Thanksgiving is right around the corner. This holiday is celebrated in many different ways, but if there's one thing that stays consistent, it is generally the food. So we surveyed our employees to learn how they feast and share the most Unforgettable Thanksgiving fails. Energycast Sierra Hellemans has the inside scoop on how our employees feast. Thank you for joining us for Energycast. New episodes will resume in January. You're still able to watch on air and online. We'll be posting EM News on our social media accounts. Head on over to follow us. We're always happy to answer questions and share information with you there as well. And remember, if you work in environmental management in Oak Ridge, keep us in mind if you come across a story. We are always looking for news tips and story ideas from all across the reservation. Email your ideas to oakridgeem@orem.doe.gov. Let us know there. You might just see it right here. See you in January.